And they're heroes. I mean, they potentially have saved, you think of, millions of lives that have been saved. We recently had the attorney Rob Bilott, who brought out evidence that DuPont was systematically putting in extremely toxic substances into the water supply that was getting people sick. And if we look, even if you just watch the movies, whether it's Aaron Brockovich or anything else, so much of the attorney's job when they're doing, looking for these corporate acts of malfeasance is that they have to find someone on the inside that's willing to blow the whistle. So, often they have to look for ex-employees because current employees are so worried about, keeping their job. And one of the things, especially in these industries that might be somewhat tightly knit, if somebody gets a reputation as a whistleblower, they may be afraid that they'll never work again. And in fact, that's something that we've seen time and again. And it even goes back to something that you brought up earlier in our conversation here, which is we said how we have non-competes, but that they use non-competes in addition to non-disclosure agreements. Can you explain what is a non-compete agreement and how is it used in order to prevent whistleblowing from employers? And that's a whole nother discussion as to whether non-competes should be as broad as they are allowed to be as broad as they are.
Well, my experience with non-competes is that very often they use it to block you from the entire industry. So perhaps you have training in a specific area. They will keep you from working in that area with another company. And because I delved in that world for a little while, people often say that you're protected. Your former employer cannot prevent you being hired by someone else. I have not found that to always be true. They may not be able to say anything specific, but you can easily be blackballed in a profession, especially if the profession is small enough.
Wow, yeah, and it's like the word gets out, and there's no way to prove, right, if you are, if you leave a job after being a whistleblower and you can't find another one, how do you prove that your former employer went out and reach out to other employers and telling them not to hire you? It's very difficult because the burden of proof is actually on the employee. So that's again more reason to keep their mouth shut, and that's exactly what we want to avoid. Can you tell us about your summit, the Whistleblower Summit, which is coming up in July, and why did you think it's necessary to have a formal recognition of whistleblowers around the world in this summit? Can you tell us what was the inspiration for it, and how people can find out more about your Whistleblower Summit?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, you can go to our website, whistleblowersummit.com. whistleblowersummit.com. And if you have questions, you can please call us at 202-370-6635.
And that's also for someone that either might be a whistleblower or someone that might know something or suspect something that might be going on. Of course, we've been all glued to the TV these past few weeks with the January 6th January 6th committee, and there has been certainly a lot of whistleblowers there, and it's kind of interesting when you see some of these people testifying and saying, and they want to act like they were or certainly they claim to be the one rational voice in the room saying don't do this. Of course, we're hearing it now, over a year and a half later. But can you tell us about whatever exposure some of those people might have faced with regard to the attempted coup to overturn the election, and why we're essentially just hearing about it now. We're hearing it was shocking from the beginning, but now we're finding out it's even more shocking now that we're able to get some of these witnesses under subpoena and have them testify before Congress.
Well, there are the people who are true classic whistleblowers. And we have some division in our own community about, who falls under that definition as opposed to someone who is an advocate for free speech. So a whistleblower is generally someone in place who is risking both career and life to tell the truth. We have a great example of a whistleblower who received our second Shaw Marvin award. The Shaw Marvin Pillar is something that we give to active and former military who risk everything to blow the whistle. That is a very tightly structured environment. And your career can be impacted even faster than it can if you're a federal employee. And so two of the people that we've awarded it to so far have been in the service, actively serving at the time that they blew the whistle. One was for harassment and sexual discrimination, and the other was an enlisted person who really just wanted the same access and protections for themselves as their child as dependents got. And as hard as it is to believe, it's very difficult for active duty military to get protection from spousal abuse.